Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
This is guys.
We are just these guys. This is Ryan.
And I'm Mike.
And who am I?
Lance.
Hey.
Yeah.
And we're back for another week, another episode of Just These Guys,
Mm-hmm.
We have the privilege of having Ryan join us one more time.
One more special guest appearance.
Yeah.
You like doing this?
Yeah.
You're a pretty awesome podcaster.
Yeah.
And an amazing dresser.
Yeah.
I always
Nice.
feel underdressed when I'm around you,
You got me.
especially at church.
The sharp-dressed man.
Oh my gosh. He had on one bad to the bone lime green.
Yeah.
It looked lime green to me. Maybe it was the light. But that was
Yeah.
such a good looking.
Yeah. Yeah. I work in CA Credible Academy.
He's working with the Crash Course Academy.
Oh, nice.
Kind of taking that mantra over.
Crash Course Academy
Yeah.
Director. I like it.
Yeah.
And he made a video this weekend.
Yeah. Learning about Star Wars line.
Tying it all together.
Yeah. Yes. 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
So, I had a couple questions before we got underway today.
Go right ahead.
A listener who has known you for a while asked me the other day, what kind of medication are you taking now?
Me? Ask that about me?
Yeah,
Right.
because they know you.
Uh-huh.
And they said, you can't be that cheerful and happy and talkative unless you've started taking a medication or something.
Yeah, no. No medication for like happy pills. No, it's a change of perspective. What I'm doing is I'm taking thinking pills just by changing the way I think. I'm telling you, this stuff it just takes the cloud away is really what it does.
Wow.
And it is something that's kind of cool. I like that question. I like that observation. And yeah, there's definitely been years and years but it wasn't even, I don't think, so much like a fog of depression or anxiety or anything like that. It was just a fog of just confusion on, not really knowing what to think.
Right.
Yeah. And being able to concentrate long enough. That's one of the things I'm thrilled with is just when you get rid of a lot of the crap that you're trying to think about that you really don't even need to be thinking about. And certainly once you decide you don't want to think about it, then you're not trying to control stuff that you don't control. And we are what we think, right?
And now you get it when early on I told you there was a guy who had come to me in a great deal of pain and anger and angst. My boss had sent him, and
Mm-hmm.
he told me after kind of working on this stuff for a little bit, came in, relaxed, happy, at peace, and said, I hate you.
Yeah.
Because I now have 5 hours every evening with nothing to do.
You've ruined me.
Because what he thought about, which led to what he did.
Yeah.
When he changed how he thought.
Yeah.
He no longer wanted to do those things. And so he had to actually rethink his life in many respects and about, well, what do I want? What do I want to do with my life? What do I want to do with my time?
Yep.
And everything before was not on that list.
Yeah.
His job, he kept his job, but
Absolutely.
but everything after that. So
Yeah.
once you change how you think, like you said, you don't want to think about that other stuff anymore.
Sure.
It doesn't even come to mind most of the time.
Right. Yeah. And when you switch from, negative thinking to positive thinking, it just affects everything. And so, if the observation is that I'm a little more cheery, and seem to be just generally upbeat, well, that's number one. What do you want me to come on here and be just a turd? That's not going to be a good podcast.
Yeah.
No,
So-
but like I said, they know you. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not just in
Outside of this, right?
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a significant enough change. They actually kind of brought that question up, and it's a bold question to ask. Is
Sure.
that guy on medication?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm on all kinds of goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just.
And
It's a decision, really.
we can talk about it in future episodes if you ever want. But this is the beginning. This is
Sure.
this is the foundation, and so what we've walked through these past 8-9 weeks is how to change how you think, and we've really kind of drilled down and focused that on issues of the moment because that's where we live.
Right.
Well, there's kind of 3 other areas where we can now launch into that will be completely different given that we've changed the thought process. And one of them is our past.
Mm.
And the way we think about our past brings on depression and regret and guilt and shame. But since we're changing how we think right here, right now, we can now take those 4 filters, those 4 ways of thinking, and now point it at the past and redefine it.
Sure. Yeah.
And change how we feel about, change how we experience what went on in the past, to release a lot of demons and guilt and shame and frustration and regret, and to just change how we feel today in a broader sense.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause a lot of times we do a lot of things growing up, make a lot of bad decisions as a young adult, and we just try to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really like to talk much about our 20s because of all the decisions we made and the things we did.
Yeah.
But now with this new frame of reference, this new perspective and way of thinking, we can look back to those times and redefine, rethink, and then feel completely different about it.
Yeah. Heck yeah. One of the things that I've been doing a lot lately, I'm finding myself doing this anyway. Like yesterday as I was mowing, when you just have those times where you just have you to conversate with. I was mowing along and I start thinking about what what I'm thinking about. So it's an awareness thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I realize that I'm starting to think about something negative, I ask myself, well, why am I thinking that way? And it's typically that I have just gotten into the habit of, like you said before, being a mind reader.
Sure.
A lot of times I'm thinking about what somebody else is probably thinking. And so I'm going through a scenario, maybe something that happened or a response that, or a future conversation. I don't know. Surely I can't be the only one that does this. And so I start to think, well, this is surely how they think about this. Well, why am I doing that? Again, it's like trying to be a mind reader, and it's just foolishness. And I've started to think to myself, well, instead of thinking that they're going to respond negatively, they probably think this is the greatest thing that could ever happen, and they're going to be positive about it. So it's changing the default.
Now, you want to hear how exactly insane that is?
Sure.
And these are things we all do.
Mm-hmm.
We have that conversation with the other person in our head, and we go through the entire conversation. We don't need them there.
Mm-mm.
And at the end, we're going to now approach them and treat them as if that conversation was real.
Yeah.
And then never have the actual conversation, as you said, with
Sure.
them because we've already decided.
Right.
Now, imagine if somebody were to come to you and tell you they did that but all positively.
Mm. Yeah.
So there's a guy at
Changes
church
everything.
there's a guy at church who walks up, shakes your hand, and you'll have that churchy small talk. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Where you been? Welcome to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And the next week you walk in and he's at the back door with a box with paper and pencils, and he's dressed with his tie on, and he's waiting for you to open the door. And you're like, what are you doing? He said, well, I work here now. What? Yeah, well, I was mowing the lawn. I thought it through. And in that conversation, you said, why don't you come up here and work for us? So here I am. You would call the cops.
Yeah.
You would call the cops and say, I got this crazy guy out here. But we work those negative conversations through our head.
Mm-hmm.
And what's even worse is when we do it in front of the person.
Hmm.
Oh, no, you think this. And then we argue with what we think they think.
Sure.
And
I know better than you what you think.
yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they'll tell us, oh, this is what I was thinking. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's not what you were thinking.
Yeah.
You were thinking this. And then the argument is off and running. And we do it all the time.
I know.
We do it all the time. And we don't recognize until, because one of my favorite sayings is, if the formula works, the formula works. So if I can think through a conversation in your mind, predict where this is all going to go in the future in this negative realm, then why can't I do it in the positive realm?
Sure.
Hey, Britney Spears would like a guy like me. I'm going to get on a plane, fly out there. I'm going to quit my job, drive up to her house with flowers. And we're like, stalker.
He's so positive.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, yes. Hey, there's a chance. Yep. Yeah, it's incredible. The mind, as they say, is a very dangerous place to live.
And they asked that question about you and this change in your demeanor and energy level. I didn't, offer up any explanations. I just said, I'll pass the question along.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked the question, not knowing what the answer was. And yes, I'm now taking an antidepressant. I don't know.
Sure.
But I'm glad to hear that it was changing how you think.
Yeah. Well, that's the numero uno. There's some other just general life health decisions that I've made that are better, like so many of our listeners know. Gluten-free living is the way to go. Ryan?
Yeah.
Gluten-free living.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it makes such a difference.
And you've lost so much weight. That's the,
Yeah.
people are going out buying this Ozempic thing to poke themselves in the ribs with it.
Yep.
When if
Eat
they
a
were
gummy.
change the lifestyle 2 degrees, just
That's all it is.
2 degree shift, just gluten free.
Yep.
20 pounds is gone.
It's crazy. And that's a byproduct benefit, just of the overall feeling healthier. The weight loss certainly helps, but man, this is the way to go. Healthier decisions.
The other 2 areas, because we talked about taking these fundamentals, pointing them at the past to rethink and reprocess. We can point them at relationships.
Oh, yeah.
And there are now that we have these things in place, then there are skill sets for how to approach other people in conversations and business meetings and sales and working with your boss and working with an employee and working with a spouse, or different ways to talk to them, to process disagreements, conflicts that now make total sense once you understand these 4 things.
You bet.
And then the third area we can point this is just the future in general, where life goes from here. And these 4 fundamentals as the foundation, we can redefine our past, redefine our future, and redefine our relationships.
Well, it certainly is a
That'll be my next book.
Yeah, there you go. For me personally, this is all an exercise in just experiencing, because I'm sitting here ever since you said someone had recognized a change in my demeanor and all that. I think the word that I can sum it all up with is it's just a peace, because there's not been a whole lot in the scene that has changed in my life experiences in general, but the peace that I have walking through the middle of it is the difference. And so, man.
I'm glad you said that, because I've mentioned that before, but yesterday somebody walked in and the visible difference, because this was a person that displayed their anxiety and tension, and visibly different when they walked in and sat down. All of the normal indicators were gone, and asked them how they had been doing, and they recalled a particular event that would have shot them to the moon 6 weeks ago. And they said, when this occurred, all my friends said, if you need to take a day, or if you need to take some time to go deal with that, we'll understand. And they said, they looked at me and said, no, I'm fine, and set the phone down and went on with the rest of their day and their weekend. And they said, I was at peace.
Oh yeah,
with
that's
what
awesome.
was going on.
Man.
And they kind of broke it down from there, but that was the initial reaction. This thing that they have dealt with for many years, 6 weeks ago, as soon as 6 weeks ago, if that had occurred, they'd have been off the rails, pulling their hair out. Life would have changed. They would have had to stop everything. They would have lost, a couple nights worth of sleep. Maybe done some things they shouldn't have done. But this time when it happened, they went, huh. And everybody started to prepare for the explosion. If you need to take some time. Like, no, I'm fine. Put the phone down and went out the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, tell you, and you know what peace does for me? And I can tell when I'm walking in the middle of it, without even being completely aware, these things start to they're indicators that I'm walking in peace. In my mind, I'm walking in peace. And I'm either dancing a little bit or I'm whistling. I'll literally start whistling, but it's because there's music in my head. When there's music in my head, I know I'm feeling peace. When there's no music, then all I'm doing is I'm overthinking this and I'm overthinking that, and I'm negative thinking this and negative thinking that. If the music's in my head, so I've actually had a few times here where I've had to be kind of aware of my surroundings, and it's not a good situation when you just have spoken with somebody who's just having the worst day possible for good reason,
Sure,
legitimate reasons. And they're having the worst day possible, and you say, well, I really hope it gets a lot better for you. And then you turn around, you walk away, and you start whistling and dancing off. That's not a good thing. I've literally had
good
to
luck
say,
with that.
yeah, I've had to say, okay, good luck. And then I'm dancing away. It's just, that's for me, that's what, the best indicator that things in the neighborhood of my mind are going well. And so I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm in a great place. God is good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Buddy had a birthday 2 years ago. His trip 2 years ago.
Who had a birthday 2 years ago?
March 23rd.
March 23rd?
His buddy's birthday. Yep.
Christian?
His birthday.
Christian?
His birthday.
Is that your buddy?
Yeah.
Christian? Okay.
He's 5 years.
Yeah, Christian's his buddy.
All right.
You know I am.
Christian's his best friend.
Did you have a birthday party for him?
Yeah, he's winning his friends in the party in the hotel.
What hotel?
His name is Great Wolf Hotel place.
They had a birthday party at Great Wolf Lodge.
Oh.
Christian's birthday party, and he had all his friends with him.
Yeah.
Great Wolf Lodge. Did you go swimming?
Yeah, yes. Right behind the living point, behind Grapevine, Texas.
Right behind Grapevine, Texas.
That's an awesome place.
Yep. Yeah, he's trying. He's in lanes and helped me in boxing and stuff in weeks.
I'm in there somewhere. I don't know.
25.
25. You're 25 now.
And two days to 25 years have passed.
25 years. You're 25 years old?
Yeah.
So if we need to go on a trip, you can rent a car.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the good
yeah.
news.
Yeah, have lanes and then Toyota car and come back.
Wow.
Toyota. He's hung up on Toyota.
Huh.
Chevy.
Yeah, lanes and give me a field line.
Lance made him a video.
Oh, a birthday video?
Yeah.
Made him a
Well,
birthday video.
Yeah, I want Mexican food in the birthday line.
You want Mexican food for your birthday? What's your favorite
mm-hmm.
Mexican food place?
And nail plate.
What?
Nail A.
Naya?
And nail plate.
I thought it was Mina's.
The nail plate is behind the place.
Oh, okay.
And apple pie.
And apple pie.
They gave me 3 times.
You got to have the apple pie. Do you like the apple and cinnamon?
Yeah, cinnamon roll and ice cream top.
Oh,
Cinnamon roll with icing on top.
Yeah, and hot coming.
got to have it hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Quick question. Speaking of food and stuff.
Yep.
How was your breakfast?
This breakfast, so I was curious. It's different.
Yes.
So you did something. So I feel like this experience has been kind of like a roller coaster where it took a long time to get to the top. All those years where I said nothing about how crappy your coffee was. So it was always this regret. Going up, click, click, click. You know how many people have this regret as they're going up. Why did I get on this thing? So you get up to the top, and man, once we started cruising, it was awesome. And it just got better and better and better. But I feel like we're getting ready to creep back up another hill because it almost feels like you're trying to turn me back towards a coffee drinker and not a dessert drinker. So I guess what my point is it's good, but it's not as good as last week's coffee. What did you put in it?
Okay, well, the click,
Is that
click,
more than
click
you needed?
Uphill for years, serving him crappy coffee. I want the audience to know, 1, he never complained.
Yeah, right.
That's a good quality about him. And 2, he never brought his own coffee drink.
Mm-mm. That's a fact.
Just suffered in silence. He'd drive by Starbucks. He would drive by scooters.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has whatever he's got at home, but he would come in and politely take my coffee, which is simply Colombian coffee, by the way. Now,
He's coffee back.
Yeah.
today,
He gave me.
What
I thought it was always Save brand coffee.
Come on. He gave me hot chocolate.
Yeah.
today what you have is a protein energy drink
That's not even coffee.
with a shot of coffee.
Okay.
So instead of the dairy creamer,
Yeah.
almond milk, whipped cream, brown sugar
All this stuff.
that I gave you the past few weeks, when I kept telling you it's just a milkshake. That's all it is. It's a milkshake with a coffee flavor.
Yeah.
This week, I went healthy.
Well, I have to say, then it's better than I thought. Because if it's healthy, like it's not that bad. It's nothing near where we started.
And you can decorate that. I wanted you to try just a protein powder, bodybuilder, because I'm, such a massive weightlifter.
Sure.
Just your plain old.
This is very drinkable. There's no doubt. It's way closer to where we had come than where we started.
Now,
And so I would take this.
Now-
This would definitely be.
the reason I did that is because of a conversation I've had with the guys at the men's group years ago.
Mhm.
Was you can change your diet and still enjoy sweets
Oh, yeah.
and things, but feel good about putting good nutrition in you.
Sure.
And so that's a bodybuilder protein drink with almond milk and about a quarter cup of coffee in there. Now you want to throw some whipped cream on it, some cinnamon, knock yourself out, but
Right.
that is 100% healthy.
Doesn't need it. Yeah, it's amazing how you become conditioned when to a healthier way. How long have we been doing this gluten-free stuff? Has it been
2 months?
2 months?
Yeah, right at.
I always say 2 months, and it's typically quite a bit longer than that. But a couple of months worth. I haven't had. Well, Reese's peanut butter cups are gluten-free.
Yes.
They're not calorie-free, but they are gluten-free. So I can't say that I haven't had good sweets, but the really good stuff like a good piece of tres leches, a good, tiramisu, a chocolate chip cookie that is just killer. I've had maybe 2 cookies in, 2 months. It changes how sweets, I could have a lesser sweet and it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just changing your behavior. It's changing what, even your physical will change, and the taste buds will
Sure.
adjust. It's all, it kind of takes me back to, I had sent you a deal, on Jim Carrey. And the article, it wasn't even an article. It was just a little blurb about how his dad, he said, my dad could have been an amazing comedian, but he didn't want to risk putting the family into financial straits by having to, earn his chops
Sure.
as a comedian. He didn't want to cause the family to go broke, so he went conservative and he took an accountant job, and then he ended up getting fired or laid off from that job, and it put the family into financial straits, burden. And so essentially Jim Carrey had to go to work. He had to drop out of school and go to work to support the family. And the point that he made that really caught my attention was that we can fail at the things we don't want. So we may as well take a risk at the chance of failing at what we want. And so that, for me, has been just a real eye-opening thing that says, you know what? I want change. I want change for the better. And this is probably in large part, or even the reason that I'm people are seeing a different me, is that I've just decided I'm going to be focused on the things I want, instead of, because I was failing even in the things that I didn't want, and it was causing stress and anxiety. So man, I'm just going to go after the things I want, and that is where my mind is.
And I've started calling these the fundamentals because, of course, Tom Brady and his fundamentals. But whenever you hear wisdom, good bits of advice, great self-help programs, when you see somebody who's successful and they talk about what they do and how they do it, as a psychologist, I'll catch attitudes and perspectives and things within what they're saying or doing or writing, and then I will analyze inside of that, what is it that they have that we don't? And in that, you heard two of the fundamentals, and a kind of a throw out to a third fundamental. But he said his dad was worried about
The family.
did not want
Right.
to leave the family in financial ruin, didn't want to go out and be the stand-up comedian, maybe make money, maybe not make money, live out of the car, all those fears, all those worries. Well, what if this happens? Or what if that happens? Or what if? And so out of fear and worry and doubt, he made a decision to be an accountant, which in a different mindset may be a good decision, but that fear and worry and doubt caused him to decide. And what was he fearing? Leaving the family in financial ruin. What occurred?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the self-fulfilling prophecy that when we
Exactly.
make decisions in worry, anxiety, and fear, we invariably cause to occur what we fear.
What we fear, right?
Now, I don't know anything more than what you just said, but if he's making that one major decision in worry, doubt, and fear, then he's making all of his decisions in worry, doubt, and fear. And so there was probably a whole series and sequences of decisions he made, because he very well may have seen the company going down, the company going under. Other people may have offered him jobs. He could have had other opportunities to open his own little accounting practice. But that worry, that doubt, that fear makes you make decisions a certain way. And so he ended up staying in that company, perhaps. And then the company goes under, and now he's dealing with the very thing he worried about.
Mm.
And then the second element of that is what you said, Jim said, we can fail at what we don't want.
Yep.
So we might as well pursue what we do want.
Yeah.
And it's not that we can fail at what we don't want, but when we start thinking about what we don't want, we're failing.
Right.
If I say I can't do something, I instantly feel like a failure.
Sure.
And you see it in little children. You don't necessarily see it in adults. So it's like, well, I really can't do that. And they don't show it. But little children, you say, hey, do this. They're like, I can't do it. Now, as an adult, that's what we're doing in our head. We don't show that part. But inside, I can't do it. And then we start running through all our mistakes and errors. We start feeling like a failure the moment we say we can't do something or I don't want. And then we start to actively fight against that occurring. So we say what we don't want. We feel like it's right there in front of us. And now we behave in a way that's negative.
Yeah.
As if what we don't want is reality. And it's not, I say these words not to be rude. I say these words to rattle cages and create a memory. Otherwise, it's a beautiful meme, and then we go on to the next one. Beautiful meme, we go on to the next one. But it's insanity.
Sure.
I'm imagining what's going to happen in the future, and then I'm acting on it.
Mm.
And like I said, if we do that positively, people think we're insane.
Yeah.
The Kochs want me to come consult with them every day.
Right.
I drive out to the compound and show them my ID card at the gate and say, yeah, Bill Koch wants to talk to me. What? Call the police. Get this guy out of here. No, really, I was thinking about it this morning. But we do it negatively.
Sure. Yeah. As in, and like you say, as crazy as that sounds, it is equally crazy on the negative.
And we will sit at the bar and drink beer with our friends and support them in doing it. Bob, you're a good man. You took the safe route. You're watching out for your family. You're not going to get in any trouble. You're not going to put yourself in any danger.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're making decisions based out of fear and worry. We're supporting each other in this insane way of thinking.
Mm.
Quit your job and run out. But if you have a dream, if you have a desire, if you have something you would like to do.
Yeah. Everything is risk and reward.
Another famous dude whose name escapes me at the moment, Denzel Washington, said something to the effect of, if you have that dream in your mind, God put that there for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have it. And if you want to be a stand-up comedian, if that's your dream, if that's in your mind, you have permission to pursue it. If you want to grow the church, if you want to go travel, whatever you want, whatever you're dreaming, if that's in your mind, Denzel Washington said, God put that dream in your mind because that's part of your plan. He wants you to pursue it.
If I had one consistent dream as far as like a career path would be, it would be that I often think about being a preacher. And then I often think about being a stand-up comedian. I love stand-up comedians, and I'm so impressed by good ones,
Right.
good stand-up comedians. But man, there's a ton of them out there, and I watch a lot of stand-up comedians because I like to learn. Well, number one, I love the perspective of a stand-up comedian. They just observe life and they pull the humor out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, and I love watching a good stand-up comedian and their timing. The timing is such a huge thing.
Sure.
And so I mentioned that right now on this day. Is this the 25th or the 26th?
We're going
26th.
It is the 27th.
27th of June, Ryan. This is the 27th of June,
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
And one thing that I have always wanted to do
Yeah.
was one gig as a stand-up comedian. I think the Looney Bin closed down now, but go to a place where there's like an open mic and give it a shot. And so I am putting myself out there because I'm also finding if you don't put yourself out there, there's a good chance you're not going to do it. And so I'm putting this out there that within the next 20 years, within the next, let's see, I have to put the pressure on myself too. I'm just going to say 6 months. Yeah, I actually do have to. Within the next 6 months. Dang it, I don't know why I do this to myself.
Well, and you're already worried that you won't do it.
Yeah.
I'm already fearful, Rand.
Yeah.
I'm already
Words
going,
speak
what
life,
if?
words speak
What
death.
if?
All you have to do is say, I want to do that. Boom. Shut up.
Yeah.
You-
Okay.
That
I want to do it.
Fact.
Words speak life.
I want to do it.
I want to do it. That's all you got to say.
I'm
All the
gonna
rest
do
of
it.
This stuff.
Yeah. This is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I don't know that I'll let anybody know when.
You
But
heard
I'm
it
gonna do
first
it.
Here.
Yeah. You heard it first here. Right here. Right here. I have never said that before out loud. I've said it 100,000 times in my head, but never out loud before. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Woo! That just woke me up.
Hang on me out. Yeah.
Making the dream a reality.
Yeah. My mother, he's playing. He's trouble mad at me. He's in CA pastor, so then I get trained. CA pastor in Richardson, Texas. He playing.
The Crash Course Academy pastor in Richardson, Texas.
You didn't have me teaching me us together.
You want to? Oh, that's right. This morning you were talking about Pastor Mike. Doing a gig with you.
Yeah.
Ah. In Texas?
Yeah, but I said,
Well, I tell you what. It'd be an honor.
Well, this is the first start. Y'all did something. Y'all did a collaboration here today.
That's right.
So when we get the video all edited and proofed and produced,
yeah.
we'll send you a copy so you can have that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's been awesome, Ryan.
this has been an awesome morning. I feel like we made some breakthroughs here today.
I feel like I just went through therapy.
Wait. You got to look into the camera and thank everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Just These Guys, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I am Lance.
I'm Ryan Parker, CA pastor.
And I am Mike.
And we are Just These Guys. We will catch you next week. Thanks for tuning in today.
Have an awesome week.
Tuesday, 30, 20.